Apple is about to do something with the iPhone 18 Pro Max that they have never done before. And if you are sitting on an iPhone 13, 14, or even 15 right now, what you are about to hear could completely change when and how you spend your next $1,299. Because this is not a minor spec bump. The leaks, the supply chain reports, and the analyst data are all pointing to the same conclusion. The iPhone 18 Pro Max could be the most significant generational jump Apple has made in half a decade. But here is the part most people are not talking about. The biggest upgrade is not the camera. It is not the chip. It is something underneath the display that changes how this phone feels to use every single day. We will get there. But first, let us talk about what is actually confirmed and what it means for your buying decision right now. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to launch in September 2025, following Apple's standard release cycle. Early pricing leaks suggest the base configuration will start at $1,299, a $100 increase over the iPhone 17 Pro Max. That price jump alone is worth examining closely before we go any further, because whether it is justified depends entirely on what Apple is delivering for that premium. And based on everything surfacing right now, it appears they are delivering quite a lot. Let us start with the display, because this is where the story gets genuinely interesting. Multiple supply chain reports are pointing toward Apple adopting a new under-display Face ID system for the first time. That means the dynamic island, the pill-shaped cutout that has defined the Pro line for the past 2 generations, could finally disappear entirely. What replaces it is a completely clean, edge-to-edge OLED panel with no visible interruption. That single change alone is enormous from a premium ownership standpoint. Every other flagship Android manufacturer, including Samsung with the Galaxy S25 Ultra and Google with the Pixel 9 Pro XL, has been chasing the full-screen design for years. If Apple pulls this off cleanly, it fundamentally reshapes the visual premium of owning a Pro Max. But that is not even the biggest display news. Apple is also expected to push peak brightness beyond 3000 nits with a new promotion panel, while maintaining the 1 Hz to 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate. In real-world terms, that means outdoor visibility reaches an entirely new level. Content visible in direct sunlight that would wash out on a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra or a Google Pixel 9 Pro. Now, let us talk about the chip. The A19 Pro chip, built on TSMC's second-generation 3nm process, is expected to power the iPhone 18 Pro Max. Early benchmark estimates from analyst testing suggest CPU performance improvements of approximately 20 to 25% over the A18 Pro, with GPU gains in the 30% range. What does that actually mean in your daily life? For creators editing 4K and 8K video directly on the device, export times that currently take 4 to 5 minutes on the iPhone 16 Pro Max could drop to under 3 minutes on the iPhone 18 Pro Max. For professionals running AI-powered productivity apps, on-device processing becomes noticeably faster and more responsive. And here is where things get very interesting. Apple's expanded neural engine inside the A19 Pro is reportedly built specifically to handle the next generation of Apple Intelligence features, including real-time language translation and calls, fully generative image creation without internet dependency, and a significantly smarter, more conversational Siri. These are not gimmick features. For professionals and creators in the US and UK markets, these tools represent a genuine workflow upgrade. Most buyers comparing the raw spec sheet are completely missing this detail. Now let us talk about what this means if you're currently using a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra or a Google Pixel 9 Pro XL at the same price point. The Galaxy S25 Ultra starts at $1,299. The Pixel 9 Pro XL sits at $1,099. Both are exceptional Android flagships, but neither delivers the same long-term software support promise Apple does. The iPhone 18 Pro Max will receive iOS updates for at least 6 to 7 years. That turns a $1,299 purchase into a device with genuine long-term investment value, roughly $185 per year over 7 years of supported use. Over the same period, Android competitors typically see 3 to 5 years of major OS updates before performance and security support begins to degrade. That gap in long-term ownership value is something every buyer in this price category needs to factor into the final decision. But here is where things get surprising, and this is the part that almost nobody is talking about right now. Camera hardware leaks suggest Apple is introducing a periscope telephoto system across both the Pro and Pro Max this generation. Not just the Pro Max exclusively, which was the case with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The Pro Max version is expected to push optical zoom to 5x while adding a new multi-aperture lens system that dynamically adjusts based on available light. In real-world testing based on pre-production prototype reports, low-light photography at 5x optical zoom on the iPhone 18 Pro Max reportedly produces significantly less noise and sharper subject detail than the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra at the same zoom level. For professional photographers and content creators shooting on mobile, this is a meaningful jump that pushes the Pro Max into legitimate territory as a primary camera replacement for casual shoots. And then there's battery life. Reports suggest a larger cell paired with a more efficient A19 Pro chip could push screen-on time to 14 to 16 hours under typical professional use, roughly 2 to 3 hours longer than the iPhone 16 Pro Max under equivalent conditions. For travelers, remote workers, and creators shooting all-day events, that improvement alone removes a genuine daily frustration. Charging speed is also expected to increase, with rumors pointing to 45W wired charging support, a significant jump from the current 27W maximum. A full charge from zero could potentially complete in under 75 minutes rather than the current 100+ minutes. So here's where we land on the price question. Is $1,299 justified for the iPhone 18 Pro Max? If you break it down as a long-term investment over 6 years of active use, that works out to roughly $216 per year. For a professional or creator using this device as their primary productivity and creative tool, the math is genuinely reasonable, especially when you factor in the A19 Pro's AI performance gains, the new display design, the upgraded camera system, and the extended software support window. Now, let us be direct about who should actually buy this, who should wait, and who should skip it entirely. If you're on an iPhone 13 or 14, upgrade. This is the most compelling reason to move in years. You will feel every improvement immediately and daily. The performance gap between an A15 or A16 chip and the A19 Pro is enormous. The new display, the camera system, the battery, all of it represents a complete transformation of the experience you currently have. If you're on an iPhone 15 Pro Max, it is a genuine upgrade, but not an urgent one. You are not leaving a bad device. You are deciding whether the under-display Face ID, the improved AI features, and the camera system improvements justify the cost. For creators and professionals, yes. For casual users, wait for a price drop on the iPhone 17 Pro Max instead and save yourself $200. If you're on an iPhone 16 Pro Max, wait. You already have the A18 Pro, a strong camera system, and Apple Intelligence. The 18 Pro Max is meaningfully better, but not so dramatically different that spending $1,299 this cycle makes obvious financial sense, unless the under-display Face ID and AI improvements are specifically important to your workflow. If you're coming from Samsung or Google, the iPhone 18 Pro Max offers a premium ecosystem advantage, superior long-term software support, and what appears to be a class-leading camera system. The ecosystem transition cost is real, but for buyers planning a 5 to 7 year ownership window, the long-term value calculation favors Apple at this price point. For gamers specifically, the A19 Pro GPU improvements are significant. 30% faster graphics performance translates to smoother frame rates in graphically demanding titles and faster rendering in console-quality mobile games. If gaming performance matters in your daily use, this is a meaningful upgrade over anything currently available. The iPhone 18 Pro Max, based on everything currently confirmed and credibly leaked, is shaping up to be the smartest long-term smartphone investment Apple has offered in years. But before you finalize your decision, there is one more development surrounding Apple's pricing strategy and possible storage tier changes that could significantly affect which configuration makes the most sense to buy.